Here's a look at Watertown, New York this afternoon. A beautiful town center there. The ground is clear now. That's about to change. We're tracking the growing threat for, in spots, feet of snow on Thanksgiving Day. And in a place like this, Kiana's back with us. Kiana, they got a healthy amount of snow moving in. It might be a while before they see some of that ground again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think this was the case the last couple of seasons, especially here in Watertown. So they're used
like 6
to
months?
it. Yeah, like they're used to it. The next 6 months are going to feel the same, rinse and repeat. But once we get out of that rut, you'll be fine. It's now getting into it, though. As Ian mentioned, you may see up to 2 feet of snow by the time the holiday kind of rolls around. We've been seeing several different opportunities for this lake effect snow to really get going. And post-turkey nap, well, some folks may have to grab the shovel and get to work. So let's talk about it, because here's a look at things. We have this opportunity for this low, the same low that's working its way towards the northern plains now, will start to be enhanced by the lakes by the time we get into about Thanksgiving. And that's where we could see about 2 to 3 feet of snow over Michigan. That's because of, those areas off towards the east of Lake Erie could also see some of that heavy snow. Watertown, for example, is going to be one of those places. We watched this play out late Wednesday for those areas far north. So Michigan, Grand Rapids, Marquette, you can start to feel that switch over from some rain to some wet snow by tomorrow evening. Going into about Thursday, we start to see this really pick up, and going through about Friday, we see the temperatures stick around. So any type of, stream that gets going, a nice looking fetch, we'll have the temperatures to play with at the surface. That being said, here's our winter weather alert. So this takes us at least through Saturday. I mentioned those areas far to the north, UP of Michigan, Marquette, Grand Rapids, you are under some of those blizzard warnings already. And that's as the snow gets going for tomorrow. If you're on some of the eastern communities of Lake Erie, you're also under these lake effect snow warnings, as you'll start to feel that going into about Wednesday evening, Thursday. Look at some of these totals. So the Mitten of Michigan sees some of our heavier totals. A lot of that deep shading of purple over Traverse City, about a foot of snow. Marquette, as we've been mentioning 2 to 3 feet of snow expected for you. And then we have Erie up through about Watertown, Buffalo. These are going to be the areas that could see anywhere from about maybe 8 to almost a foot of snow. So over a half a foot for sure is going to be likely falling once we get into the holiday. Put it all together. Here's a look at our Fox model. So going into tomorrow morning, Marquette, you're still getting impacted by that initial low. Temperatures are below freezing, so that's also going to be a big issue there in terms of how much snow you get at the surface and how much accumulates. And then we start to see our streamers get going into about late Wednesday. So about 6 p.m., Grand Rapids coming off of Lake Michigan. Lake Erie may have some wintry mix, precip going into about Wednesday evening, switching over to snow if we get a good fetch that goes across Lake Erie by the time we get into Thursday. And that just continues to go. Now, this is something that you're pretty much used to. Notice that the temperatures really take a tumble. Marquette, 8 degrees by the time we get into Friday. Finally, some of that snow comes to an end for you. We'll watch these areas off towards the east, though, through the latter half of Friday. Black Friday, you're heading out. Could still see a couple of snow showers take you right up into about the weekend.